guest is from the election watchdog, Kontra Daya. What are the concerns a few minutes before polling precincts open? Joining us now is Kontra Daya convener Malou Toralbe-Jarabe. Thank you so much for joining us, Malou. Well, it's about 18 minutes to go before polling precincts open. How confident are you that the 2022 elections will be a success on both the national and local levels?
First, let me greet you, Rico, and our televiewers. Good morning. Okay, the question is, I think the answer would be, it is contingent on several factors. And I would like to say that for me to say it is successful, it has to be clean and honest, and the outcomes are credible. So that for me would, constitute, or for me to have an indication that it is indeed successful.
And Malou, tell us, how different is this elections from the past? What are the driving forces that will play a huge part in this electoral process?
Okay, thank you for the question, Pico. Well, this is actually the fifth fully automated elections, since it started in 2010. But this is also the first automated elections in a pandemic year, in time of a pandemic. So I guess that's one difference that we can compare it from the previous. And I would like to say that this is also the election cycle when we experience the most the proliferation of disinformation. Mm-hmm. So I think that's factors that would play a role, and would somehow influence the outcome of the elections, this 2022 elections.
So Malou, tell us, why did we see a lot of fake news and disinformation in this electoral campaign compared to the previous elections in 2019 and 2016? Why did we see more of it? Why did it proliferate during this period?
Okay, let's first, I guess somebody or groups would benefit from this information, and also others are also disadvantaged. So I think this information is used primarily to, how do you say that, entice voters, in an election context, by spreading these lies, spreading untruths, So I think that's, for the most part, is being done deliberately. There's intent, There's an intent to spread false news. There's an intent to spread lies and untruths.
What about as we speak right now, before we start going to the precincts and vote for our candidates? Are we already seeing a lot of false news, untruths, and lies taking place on how our kababayans should vote today?
Okay, let me, just about yesterday, we got this false news, this fake news that the Makabayan Bloc, and the party list groups under Makabayan Bloc and Nery Colmenares have been disqualified by the COMELEC. So it came out yesterday. So that's, and according to COMELEC, yesterday, they also said that it is fake news. But as soon as it came out, there were already, based on our monitoring, there were already flyers, being distributed. So you see, this is happening, and this happened, a day before election day. So that's how, and that's just one example, actually.
Yes,
so
and we may see many of that taking place during the course of election day, particularly on social media. Share with us, Malou, if our kababayans would see any kind of electoral violation taking place from 6 in the morning until 7 in the evening today in terms of campaigning, vote buying, what should they do?
Okay. What should they do? Please, if you see any of these irregularities and fraudulent activities, you can send to us. Send to Kontra Daya these complaints, no, these observations that you have. So whether it's vote buying, red tagging, machine errors, illegal campaigning, disinformation, harassment, flying voters, disenfranchisement, and the use of government resources, please inform us about all these incidents. So you can send to us, no, these complaints at our Facebook and Twitter account, and include a hashtag Kontra Daya Vote Report PH.
All right. Do you have any hotline where people can call if they can't access or if they can't send any messages via your social media pages?
Okay, we have a hotline, so let me just read it. No, our hotline is 0920-833-2296 and 945-824-3600.
And of course, Malou,
So
no?
those are our hotlines.
Thank you so much for that
Yes, Rico.
information. No, if they see any kind of electoral violations taking place during the day, and of course, the polls are not only taking place on the national and local levels. A lot of Filipinos, millions of them, are also voting overseas. Is your group Kontra Daya also quite satisfied with the process and the outcome of how it's being conducted in the various embassies and consulates all over the world?
Okay, thank you for that question, Rico. In fact, when we are the committee, no, in charge at the House of Representatives called us up, no, to give our observation. So we already did. In fact, we made a manifestation on that, and we said that according to reports from our chapters in countries abroad, for example, we have Kontra Daya in the USA, Canada, and Europe. So they're saying we got a lot of reports that there was delay, no, and it didn't start right away. No, the paraphernalia did not come right away. So it took them a while to set up. So there were, they seemed unprepared. So we already made this manifestation to the House Committee and said that COMELEC, we said that COMELEC should thoroughly assess, conduct a thorough assessment of the overseas absentee voting. So we made that manifestation.
And Malou, before we let you go, no, there are more than 65 million Filipinos who are trooping to polling centers all day today. Some of them are no longer registered in the respective precincts because they found out that they haven't voted for 2 consecutive elections, and there are also some voters who are having second thoughts. They're undecided about who they will vote for. What is your message for them, for these kababayans who are registered voters who have second thoughts about going to their respective precincts to vote?
Okay. Our dear kababayans, my dear kababayans, now please, consider this 2022 elections, as a matter of survival. Now, we have seen the worst, during the past 2 years with this pandemic. Our social protection and healthcare systems, the inadequacies of these have been exposed. So it's very important that we choose leaders who will be able to address these concerns. Another thing is that, our economy is, really ravaged. And even before the pandemic happened, we already had that problem already. So it's aggravated. What else, A lot of things are at stake. A lot of things are at stake in this 2022 elections, The protection of human rights, our sovereignty, the leadership, the quality of leadership in the next 6 years, And how do we address the new normal? So these are important, these are what is at stake, in the 2022 election. Right. So I hope that our kababayans, mga kapwa ko Pilipino, please go out and vote. At kailangan po, pagpunta ninyo sa ating mga polling places, bumoto tayo, magbantay tayo ng ating pagboto. At kung kinakailangan sa harap ng malawakang cheating, no, at fraud, tayo po ay kumilos. Maraming salamat. Thank you, Rico.
Thank you so much for joining us for this CNN Philippines special presentation on election 2022. The Filipino votes. Kontra Daya convener Malou Toralbe-Jarabe.